The next morning, you stepped into the elevator holding some files in your arms. But before the doors could fully close, a large hand slipped through the gap, forcing them open. Jungkook stepped in. Your grip on the files tightened as Jungkook stepped in, his presence immediately making the space feel smaller. It was just the two of you. You stayed straight ahead, avoiding even a glance in his direction. Jungkook, however, kept his eyes on you. His sharp eyes scanning your expression, you however kept your gaze down, holding your files tightly to your chest, refusing to meet his eyes. He cleared his throat. You are here early today? You nodded curtly. It's my job, sir. Jungkook blinked at your formal tone. He shifted slightly, glancing at you again. Did you have breakfast? You pressed your lips together. It's not work-related, sir. I was just asking. You inhaled sharply, still not looking at him. If you want to discuss something regarding work, I will meet you in your cabin, sir. Jungkook's jaw clenched. There it was again, that distance, that cold, professional tone that made it feel like he was nothing more than your boss. The elevator kept ascending, but the silence inside was unbearable. Jungkook tried once more. Did you sleep well? I don't see how that concerns my work, sir. His patience thinned. You never used to talk like this. He muttered, trying to face you fully. You stayed still, eyes locked on the floor numbers. Jungkook exhaled sharply. Why an I? Before he could finish, the elevator dinged, signaling your floor. You immediately stepped out, not sparing him a glance. I'll bring the reports to your cabin later, sir. And just like that, you left him standing inside the elevator, watching your retreating figure, feeling a strange, unsettling ache in his chest. For the first time, Jungkook realized losing your voice in his life was worse than not having your attention. After some time finishing up the daily schedule, you picked up the files and walked towards his office. Knocking lightly, you stepped in. Sir, here is your schedule for the day. Jungkook, who had been staring at his laptop screen, immediately looked up as you entered, his dark eyes searching your face, but you remained composed. You placed the papers neatly on his desk. You don't have many meetings or tasks today, just a few emails to go through and one client call at 3 p.m. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. That's all? Yes, sir. A silence stretched between the two of you. You seem different today. I don't know what you mean, sir. You are usually more enthusiastic, more engaged. Today you barely speaking to me. You inhale quietly before responding in a calm, controlled tone. Sir, I am your secretary. My job is to assist you professionally. I don't believe I need to answer anything personal. Jungkook's brow frowned slightly at your formal reply. If there is nothing else, I will return to my desk. Without another word, you walked out, closing the door behind you. Jungkook let out a deep sigh, watching you go. Jungkook had spent the whole day in frustration. He was used to your warmth, your attention, your care, but today all he received was professionalism lacquered with indifference, and he hated it. So he decided to do something he had never done before, bring you coffee. At evening, he reached your cabin and knocked once before stepping in. You barely glanced up. Jungkook standing there holding a cup of coffee towards you. You didn't bring mine today, so I thought I would bring yours instead. You looked at the coffee and then at him, keeping your expression neutral. I don't drink coffee during office hours, sir. Jungkook frowned. Since when? You straightened in your chair, maintaining your calm tone. It's my rule. I prefer focusing on work without distractions. He let out a dry chuckle. That's interesting. Yesterday you brought me coffee during office hours. Was that not a distraction? Your fingers curled slightly on the desk, but you kept your voice steady. That was different. You had been working since morning without a break. I thought you needed it. Jungkook leaned against your desk, crossing his arms. And what about you? Have you taken a break? Did you have your lunch? You blinked at him. That's not necessary. I will eat when I have time. His jaw tightened. You are the one who always says we should eat on time. Have you forgotten? You exhaled, forcing a small smile. Things changes, sir. Jungkook's fingers twitched against the desk. He wasn't stupid. He could see it clearly. You were keeping a wall between you and him. And no matter what he said, you refused to let him break it. He took a slow breath, his voice lowering. Ryan, are you mad at me? You met his eyes briefly before shaking your head. No, sir, I just realized my place, that's all. That sentence hit him harder than he expected. Jungkook's heart clenched painfully. He wanted to say something to fix this, but every word died on his tongue. He didn't know how to ask you to come back to him, so instead he did what he never did before. He pushed the coffee cup closer to you. You didn't have your lunch. At least just drink it, Ryan. His voice was quieter now, almost pleading. But you simply forced a smile. Thank you for the coffee, sir, but I don't need it. And with that you returned to your work. Jungkook stood there for a moment, gripping the edge of your desk. His chest felt tight, frustration bubbling up inside him. You had never refused anything from him before, but now you were refusing him. He swallowed the lump in his throat and exhaled slowly, trying to compose himself. Fine, I won't force you. Without another word, he turned and walked away, leaving the untouched coffee on your desk. At evening, Jungkook emerged from his office, stretching his arms after finally finishing his extra workload. He glanced around the empty space and then his eyes landed on you. You was packing your things. You are the only person left. His heart clenched. He had spent the entire day feeling suffocated by your coldness, and now with no one around, he finally had the chance to talk to you freely. He walked over, calling out softly. Ryan, you still at his voice. You focused on adjusting the strap of your bag. Yes, sir. You haven't left yet? I had some work to finish. You replied flatly, avoiding his gaze. He signed. Ryan, tell me one thing. Why are you avoiding me? You swallowed but didn't answer, gripping your bag tightly and stepping towards the exit. But before you could leave, a firm hand wrapped around your wrist, halting your movements. Don't go, Jungkook said, his voice quieter now, almost pleading. You stiffened and tried to pull away. Sir, please. Ryan, he cut you off, his grip tightening just enough to keep you there but not enough to hurt. Please just listen to me once. You turned your head slightly, but you still didn't meet his eyes. There is nothing to talk about, sir. I'm only doing my job the way you want me to. As your secretary, who only talks about work, doesn't seek any attention from anyone, Jungkook felt like his heart had been ripped apart. He knew you were hurt, but hearing you say it like that with such painful detachment made him realize just how much he had wounded you. His voice cracked as he spoke. Ryan, I didn't mean it. You let out a bitter chuckle, turning to him, and your eyes met. You didn't mean it? Jungkook's throat tightened. Yes, I was just angry. Angry? At what? What did I even do to deserve that? His grip on your wrist loosened, but he didn't let go. At the way you were smiling at him. You frowned, confusion flashing in your eyes. What? Jungkook ran a frustrated hand through his hair, his exhaustion mixing with his emotions. When I saw you with him, that employee, you were laughing, talking so freely, so comfortably, and I hated it. You stared at him, your heart pounding. You hated it? His dark eyes burned into yours. Yes, because I want your attention only on me. Your breath hitched, but you remained still. Jungkook inhaled deeply, trying to control the mess of emotions swirling inside him. Ryan, I know I act cold. I know I always keep my eyes on my work when you are around. But it's not because I don't care. It's because I don't know how to handle you. I panic when you are in front of me. I don't know what to say, how to act. I pretend to be focused on my work because if I look at you for too long, I might slip and do something I shouldn't. Like tell you how much I like you. Your breath caught in your throat. Yesterday when I saw you with him, I got jealousy. I didn't even think before I spoke and I ended up hurting you. And when you started ignoring me today, acting so distant, it killed me, Ryan. He took a step closer. Your silence, your coldness, it's driving me insane. You stared at him, emotions swirling in your chest. I'm sorry, Ryan, for everything. Please don't shut me out. You looked down at where he was still holding your wrist, his fingers trembling slightly. He was scared of losing you. I love you, Ryan. You stood frozen, your mind struggling to process everything. Jungkook took a hesitant step forward, his eyes searching yours for any sign, any reaction. Say something, he murmured, his voice lacked with fear. You blinked, unable to hold back the storm of emotions rising within you. You love me? Love isn't enough to describe what I feel for you. I'm so much deeply in love with you, Ryan, that I can't even explain, and I know you too love me. I have been in love with you for so long that it terrifies me. You don't even realize what you do to me. The way you scold me when I skip meals, the way you smile at me after a long exhausting day, every little thing you do makes me fall deeper. Tears swelled up in your eyes as you listened to him spill everything he had held back for so long. But yesterday I saw you with him and I felt this jealousy I couldn't control. I hated it. I hated that someone else could make you laugh so freely, so effortlessly. He clenched his fist. I let my emotions take over, and instead of telling you how I felt, I hurt you. A tear slipped down your cheek. Jungkook stepped closer, his hand instinctively reaching up to wipe it away, but he hesitated. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness right away, but please don't push me away, he pleaded. You bite your lip, more tears falling. You idiot, you choked out. You made me cry so much. You made me feel like I was just someone who annoyed you, someone who wasn't worth your time. But the truth is, I love you too, Jungkook. You let out a shaky breath, finally letting yourself say the words you had buried for so long. I have loved you for so long, and when you called me an attention seeker, it shattered me. I thought you never saw me the way I saw you. Jungkook's heart clenched as he saw you break down in front of him. Without thinking, he closed the distance and cupid your face, wiping your tears away with his thumbs. I'm so sorry. Jungkook gently pulled you into his embrace, holding you as if he never wanted to let go. His arms wrapped around you protectively, his warmth seeping into your skin, calming the storm inside you. Then he suddenly pulled back and narrowed his eyes playfully. But just so you know, you really made me suffer from yesterday. You let out a small laugh, wiping away the last of your tears. Oh, and what exactly did I do? Jungkook huffed, crossing his arms. You ignored me, gave me one-word replies, refused my coffee. He sang dramatically. Do you have any idea how painful that was? You bite your lip, suppressing a smile. Oh, so now you know how it feels? I hate when you give me the silent treatment. You smirked. Good. Maybe next time you will think before you call me an attention seeker. He winced. I deserve that. Yes, you did. Jungkook signed before stepping closer again, his hands resting on your waist. Then, as punishment, I will let you do whatever you want to me. He smirked. You let me, scold me, make me buy you a hundred cups of coffee, whatever you want. You raised an eyebrow pretending to think. I like the coffee idea. Jungkook chuckled, tightening his hold on you. Done, but he leaned down, his lips barely a breath away from yours. Can I at least get a reward for finally confessing? Your heart pounded. A reward? Jungkook nodded, his mouth growing. A kiss would be nice. Your face heated up. You are impossible. He grinned. Only for you. And before he could respond, he closed the distance, capturing your lips in a soft, lingering kiss, one filled with all the words he never said and all the love he was finally ready to show.